Where's his first name?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I tried to pay for it.
Yeah, we're not going to cash your check. No, no, they told you that. We're like,
Still, you were no, I was up to one, like, okay, ready?
everybody, come on, guys.
Guys, butters. Ernest, hold on. Is that we got it? You guys like illegal?
Yeah, you get it. Get that shot right there.
Oh my God.
When he was here at the protest, he gets out here and he gets
I'm there.
Yeah, I told them all being
the surrender flag. Watch over there.
Good stuff.
It was just a great time. I said,
Now we need to do a statue of you to stand there.
great picture.
And we're gonna replace it.
It was just, it was a great
That's a good shot. Cross your arms, man.
That's your arm.
Look a little more defiant. Yeah, there you go.
There you go. Good,
Yeah, that's better.
good job.
Oh, let me do the Mussolini, the Trump pose.
You gotta look like mad.
Yeah.
Jail time. You gotta look like
Like you're suffering it.
I did something.
And you were the other guy.
16 hours in this jail.
Yeah, that's bad.
It's not a lot of fun.
All
right.
Nice. Are you the young? Yeah. You were crying.
Oh no, I was fine. I was crying.
I was crying. I was the one
I remember your eyes. No, the tears were there, but your eyes. Is that
I
your
wouldn't want to leave
Yeah.
Black Lives Matter.
We looked different. We didn't have any makeup
That
on.
was the one I had
Yeah.
for Are you live yet?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's everybody gather around here.
What are we doing?
Come on down. Ready to get down?
Thank you, guys.
I'm gonna try to get you on Facebook Live
I'll do what I can.
Ready? Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate talking to you. Thank you for stopping by. Hey, ready?
1 second. Defiance. Mr. Al, yeah, defiance. Sorry, Al, 1 second.
I thought you were better at this. You've only done this 100 times.
I know. Don't let this little
You're a professional provocateur like I am. Where's your George Soros kept?
I know, right?
Yeah.
You know that, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
This is like,
Yeah.
get online. Okay, here we go.
Hey, Soraya. As you can see, I'm out of jail right now, and I'm back to the scene of the crime. You know, I'll always be back because I'm standing for a cause that really means something important, and I'll always be back. I'm always going to support the Black Lives Matter community because it's a civil rights movement of our era, because it's the right thing to do. I thank all of you guys for being out here today, supporting me through my problems recently. My family's here, Ernest Walker's here, Soraya's here. We got everybody out here that means something important to me. I love all you guys. Thank you very much. Now I got to get off this thing. I'm kind of old. This might be a struggle, but thank you guys. Unnecessarily assaulted. Again, he's a veteran of Vietnam. He's a grandfather, a wonderful husband. He did not deserve to spend 16 hours in jail for something that that was just merely a ticket. So, just glad that he's okay. And
I don't think that's right.
Oh my gosh. Really crazy.
we're military. Okay. There we go. I'm old, man. I told you I was 66. Wow. You saw the video. I was screaming about my bad shoulder, my bad knee. I wasn't joking. All right, so let's make a statement here. We can make it on this end. This is out
gather around. While Up and Up News kind of get everything. They're going to talk.
Is the light okay, or do you want to do it on the other side?
This is good.
Okay.
This is good.
Don't you guys want to? I see you everywhere.
Anybody want to get in this?
I him too. I just followed him.
Okay, then why don't you guys come up here with us?
Yeah, come
Come over here.
Yeah, and the
She stood by me.
daughters, please.
All
Bullock
cat.
daughters, everybody. All
I'm a
your
witness,
family.
so I'll stay away.
No, you come on. You
No,
are
I'm a
there.
witness.
Yeah, no, he's a
Well,
witness.
come on,
Yeah.
you were there.
Okay.
You're in the courthouse.
All right.
Saturday night.
It's around 9.
Okay. I want to thank everybody for coming out here today. My friend AlWoolum, he is making a triumphant return to the place where he was unnecessarily assaulted by several white supremacists who did not really care for his shirt. And I talked to their keynote speaker today, which was Sandra Crenshaw. She was the keynote speaker today. She was the African-American lady who was actually on their roster to speak on their behalf. And I asked her today, I said, why would you allow them to attack Mr. Woolum? She said, and I have the phone call recorded, she stated that if she had known that he was here with this shirt on, she would have attacked him herself, because he is considered white trash. That's exactly what the comments was, because he should find his own cause instead of being a Black Lives Matter supporter. Black people don't need white people to support them. But if you look at the history, the NAACP, which was the Niagara movement, founded by W.B. Du Bois and several abolitionists in 1909, was founded by white abolitionists and black men and women. Every movement that has been successful within the black community that had anything to do with civil rights had white people, ministers, Hispanic people, all different Asian people, Native Americans that stood in the front lines and took the punishment that was given to them for standing for something they believe in. So I say to you, Sandra Crenshaw, former city councilwoman Sandra Crenshaw, you're absolutely wrong. I feel honored. This man has stood beside me when I was at my hospital bed. I wrote on the UCare fund for him that I started just for him, so he continued his fight. When I and my wife drove my son to California, and I had a friend of mine with the Patriot Guards, a fellow veteran, to die on a motorcycle accident. So we could not drive back in time enough we would have been too tired to get to the funeral on time. He flew, took the next flight out, flew to Los Angeles, just to help us drive back so I can be on time for a fellow veteran's funeral. This is the kind of man that I've known. I've known him for what, over a year or so. It seemed like for a lifetime.
A year and a half now.
Yeah, and everywhere that I've needed him, this man has been there. I've seen him on the front. We've attended Dallas Mavericks games together.
We were there when you had trouble getting a meal.
Yes, and yes, AlWoolum was there for me on Veterans Day last year, and he stood with me then. He stood for me. He's knelt for me, and people that look like me. So the least that we can do is continue to support this man. And I say to you guys, let's pray for him and his family, and let's pray that the people that assaulted him will be brought to justice, because he should not have been arrested. If anything, it was a simple ticket that he should have received that does not even call for jail time. No one else was arrested but him. And the video clearly shows that he was assaulted and surrounded and spat at by several different men who did not like the fact, finding out that he was white and also wearing this shirt. You know, so it's kind of a reverse racism.
And they probably, yes I am. And they probably thought I was some sort of case of stolen valor, but I am a Vietnam veteran. I did 2 combat tours over there.
Yes.
You know, I fought in the Tonkin Gulf. I was part of the blockade of Haiphong Harbor when Nixon mined the harbors in May of '72. And I can show them a DD-214 if they want to see it. They can check my record. But I am a combat veteran from Vietnam, and I served honorably, got out as a second-class petty officer. So, I mean, there's nothing, I've never lied about any of my background or my history. I'm also a school teacher. You can check on the Texas Education Agency website. I'm still credentialed. You know, I am who I say I am. And I try to protect the integrity of what I do and who I serve as an American citizen and as a teacher. So I would never, under any circumstances, assault anybody at a rally like this.
Now, if anything, he will engage in a battle of wits with you, and I guarantee you, you're going to come out on the short end of that one because he's a very smart man, and he's also a very good backseat driver. I came in on the short end of that one for about 21 hours.
And, you know, and I want to mention something else too. You know, I've got an ancestor, Robert DePriest, who died at the Alamo. You know, I have family connections to the state of Texas that go way back. I'm also a descendant of Zachary Taylor, our 12th president. I mean, my wife's a citizen of the Cherokee Nation. You know, I've got a great uncle who died as a Union soldier. My wife's, one of her ancestors, Lewis Downing, was the Cherokee chief who united the Cherokee Nation after the Civil War. So we both, you know, my wife and I both have family blood that speaks up for the Union side and for standing up for America, for the Union, for the United States of America. We're not, you know, here. You know, this is a dishonor to her family and my family going all the way back. So, and it's definitely an insult to the black community because it was erected during the Jim Crow era as a monument to intimidate and remind blacks that they weren't part of Southern life, not in a role that was equal to whites. So that's why it came down, and I'm glad to see that I'll continue to be involved in the struggle.
Now, what we're calling for is for the people that assaulted this veteran, this senior, this U.S. citizen, to be brought to justice. We want them identified, and we want them arrested for assault. We're asking the Dallas Police Department to investigate. They have the video. We want that person identified. If anybody out there that knows the identification of that person, I will ask for you to please contact us via Facebook, instant message us, and continue to support his effort to bring about a unity among all races and all people. He stood at the Mega March. He stood for people that cannot stand for themselves. And when we did Hurricane Harvey relief, he was right there driving the forklift as we sent stuff down to Houston, and now we're about to send stuff to Florida. This man is a pillar of this community, and he did not deserve to be treated the way that he was that day. And all I heard him say was, "I want my hat," because that hat means something. I haven't seen Brother Al without his hat, okay? And that meant something to him, and they denied him his hat. Ultimately, he got it back.
Yeah, one of the Dallas PD did find the hat on the ground. He went back and looked for it and found it and gave it to me.
I'm glad.
So I had it in the Dallas police vehicle as they took me to jail.
And I believe that he was arrested and targeted by the police department simply because he was wearing the shirt. Because the police department feels like this shirt means something negative. We all know some of the things that have happened, and it had nothing to do. This is not an organization. This is a movement. This is an idea that has taken on a life of its own, and it will continue. You get rid of one person, it will continue. An organization can be closed down. An organization can be bankrupt. An organization can go out of business. But an idea and a movement will live forever.
It's just the next civil rights movement is all this is. Because we actually strive for a good relationship with the police. You know, the black community wants good policing just like everybody else does.
Yes.
They want to be welcomed in the community and served and treated with respect and allowed to keep their human dignity. So we're hoping all that changes, but that's got to be in conjunction with the economic situation in this country, with the educational institutions. It's not just the police. There's a whole of society that needs to have a change, and hopefully that revolution is going to happen in 2018 at the ballot box in November of next year.
Are there any questions? Anybody else want to make any comments?
Could you briefly identify say your name and who you are?
My name is Ernest Walker, and this is my wife, Deborah Walker. We're the founders of Feed a Million Veterans. We're also one of the founding members of the American Black Cross, which you've heard a lot of recently. And I'm a veteran as well, and a good friend of AlWoolum here. And I will call him my brother to the very end. My wife, she transplants stem cells for a living, and their family, his family here, have welcomed us with open arms. We sat down in that jailhouse, and they really didn't understand how Dallas County works. Nothing moves in a hurry there.
And it's intentional. They move slowly for a reason.
So I love, she kept going up there, his daughter, Rochelle, kept going up to the window to ask him, and I was like, it's going to be hours. They said 4 to 6 hours, it's going to be that long. And lo and behold, they waited till 4 a.m. that morning. It was what, 4:22 or so?
4:22 when I got out.
4:22.
After being booked in at 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Right, and he walks out triumphantly, and he returns here today. Now, whether there's a lot of media here or not, it wasn't about the media. It's about this man having the right to stand right here on taxpayer property and say his piece.
Like I did Saturday, because there was no permit for that other group to be here. There were no designated areas that I was to be restricted to as a counter protester. I was not approached by any police that day saying I had to stay in a certain area. The only people that approached me were the militia guys trying to keep me out of their sight.
Right.
And deny me my First Amendment rights.
And take his flag from him. That was his possession. Whether it was white, red, white, and blue, whatever, it belonged to him, and he did not deserve to be touched, his space violated, or his rights violated, and his freedom of speech.
Are you okay, Al?
I've recovered. It took a day or so to get over it. It wasn't like they fed me very good in East Area. They refused me medical treatment, care, and so but I survived. Like I said in the video, I'm a diabetic. I'm 66 years old. I have a bad shoulder. I had a knee brace on that day, and I needed some attention when I got in there, but it became obvious to me that they weren't going to do anything for me. They checked my blood sugar when I got in there, and they checked it again at 8 o'clock at night, and when I started feeling like I was going hypoglycemic at 4 o'clock in the morning, they refused to test me and check me or give me anything. So I never got my dose of insulin or other pills that they promised me when I was booked in.
Wait, I have a question for you. So are you saying to me that you felt that you had symptoms of hypoglycemia?
Yeah, my blood sugar getting low. Yes.
Right, yeah, I'm RN, so I know what that means.
Yeah.
Tell me exactly what those symptoms were.
It's just for me, it's a disorientation.
Okay, so
the symptoms are different when I'm hypoglycemic, and I've been diabetic for over 20 years. I know what the symptoms are, and it's I'm starting to lose my balance and have issues with, and I start a little bit of a trip hole that starts. But I felt those symptoms coming on, and I asked to be checked, and they at 2 o'clock in the morning, and it was about
Did they give you a snack or anything?
No.
So this is for all the medical professionals out there. So for any of my patients who have had those symptoms, our first plan of action is we check your blood sugar to see if you are low. There's a certain threshold number. And then we also treat depending on what that number is. And one of the smaller treatments is simply to give a complete, like a whole fat or a little snack. They used to say juice, but we do whole milk and maybe peanut butter crackers. But it depends on what the number is. Because under a certain number, we certainly give something sugar, the sugar base. But based on what I'm hearing you say, you are aged and disabled. Am I correct? Your age, your medical age.
I'm 66 and
disabilities.
They're minor. They're more arthritic and stuff. But you saw me. I have trouble getting up and down off things.
But still, you spoke to someone about your symptoms, and your symptoms were not checked,
they
nor were they
refused me
managed.
Yep. In fact, they took me up to the nursing station. The nurse said, "Hey, we checked you at 8 o'clock last night. You're okay. Get out of here."
And let me tell you something. I've been a registered nurse for 35 years, and I would never, ever, in my practice, not check a patient.
And all they needed to administer was a simple pinprick on my finger and check with a glucometer.
Right, just check. Or if they didn't check, at least give him a snack. So those are just two basic things. And I'm sorry, I was very quiet until I heard that. Unbelievable.
Right. So at this point, if there are no other questions for Mr. Woolum, this will conclude this. But it's just the beginning. I'm sure that he won't forget how he was treated that day. It was really inhumane. I was concerned when I saw them grab him the way that he did. He's been 66 years old. I know he's a big guy, but still, that could have easily been a situation
The flag
where,
came down.
oh, yeah, it could have easily been a bad situation for him, in which it could have caused a heart attack or anything. They didn't know what his symptoms were, but it was unnecessary for him to be gang tackled by several men when he was only exercising his rights as a citizen. Thank you. Appreciate it. Have a good day.
We're with you, Al.
Thank you, sir.
One thing to notice is before he went up there with his white flag, there was a gentleman that got up here and he was waving, I don't know if he's waving the Texas flag or the Confederate flag,
was it back
a white supremacist. He came down
on Saturday
and he cut his finger on the flagpole. Right?
And he
Oh,
administered
and you know
first
what?
aid. First aid
And
to
that
him.
guy went over there by the tree, and I saw he had a cut on his hand, and he was trying to
Al
stop the
gave
bleeding.
him 2 Band-Aids, an antiseptic swipe, and it was just,
I offered
I
to
even
help.
took a picture because I just thought it was so touching that you have the Black Lives Matter guy looking out for the guy
That's his heart. That shows his heart.
yeah, it shows his heart.
Not a mean bone in his body. Now he's not going to push around. All right.
Yeah, you know, when it's human to human, you take care of people.
No,
I don't care what
you
their
know,
politics are. And that was my first comment to him.
You're a guy that we all, I mean, you're a Renaissance man.
Right on,
All
Al.
right, Al.
Thank you for taking that. I know you're not supposed to shake hands with the perp.